Welcome to Grab Load. I'm Anthony, and here's some feedback about the Vertdesk V3. Beyond the office door, Vertdesk V3 has been a really good sit-to-stand desk for me. I really enjoy this desk. I have my cameras mounted, my monitors mounted on, my microphones, and a whole bunch of stuff to be able to record and to be able to work. So I use this from working from home every single day. I usually sit down for maybe an hour in the morning, but most of the day I do stand. And my brother was looking at a desk now that he's working more from home, as are other people, a lot of other people right now. And this is one desk I do recommend. And as he saw, they came out with a butcher block top, and he's like, "Oh, I really want to go with that," because he wanted a solid wood top. I don't blame him. I do like the reclaimed wood look, a reclaimed maple look on my desk, which is a laminate top. But I have to say, if I had the choice of having that maple butcher block top, I probably would have chose that, even if it incurred the cost. Now, at some point, I'm probably going to be buying another desk that's a little bit bigger, and so I'll probably go with the 72 or the biggest that they have for the butcher block at some point, and move this just to a desk that I build on, or maybe my kids use, and they can work on it. But my brother overall gave me some feedback on what he kind of had some ratings on it and maybe some areas to improve on. So if you get stuck on some of these things, hopefully this can maybe, point you in the right direction, or come back, or you can leave a question down there. And even maybe if somebody from the company sees a question there that I don't know the answer to, they can feel free to go through and put a response down there for you as well. But the first thing is my brother got the desk, and the shipping is average. He had a little delay, and he was expecting maybe there'd be some delay. Shipping was pretty bad overall this whole middle of the year. I ordered a bed for my son, and it didn't come for a month. Shipping lost a whole entire pallet someplace at a dock. So I can understand that there might be, shipping to be a little bit, delayed in that. But his thing was more of, as the shipping company, they didn't have a smaller vehicle to get down to his apartment. His apartment is like 0.2 to a quarter mile away from the road. So it was a long walk to get there. And he said that they would offer maybe a better shipping option. They did, and maybe the truck or maybe the shipping companies that take care of it, work with them more to get that more streamlined, is my thought on that. Especially when you're having a lot more people work from home, there's going to be people that are going to have apartments, probably a lot of them, that are going to want to upgrade and have a little office space. And these desks are great for it, because you can get them in smaller sizes or bigger sizes depending upon where you're going to be sitting down. And being able to have that shipped directly to the door without having to go get a friend is a huge benefit. Now, Beyond Office Store said that it would be an extra $50 to have it delivered to his garage. I think that there could be something worked on there. Either just roll up the shipping charges into the cost and just do free shipping across the board, or at checkout have an option that's clearly listed, so that you can say direct door pickup, full level box, truck that's going to take you only to your driveway, right? And have those options there. A little bit better wording, and it could be very cleared up. Now the next thing would be back orders and delays, and he said they're acceptable. And considering, he was saying, considering the current restrictions and everything else, and people probably wanting power strips, his power strips were delayed and back ordered. The one thing that he didn't understand, though, and that wasn't fully listed, is that the USB plugs were on the power strips when he ordered them, but the ones he received didn't list or didn't have them. Now, to me, that's not a huge deal. I would rather have a plug up. You got these phones with high-powered chargers now, and quick chargers that the USB plugs on power strips just do not, live up to, and that's just the way they are. So that's one benefit, and maybe that's what you do, is get a better power supply, take the USBs off, and just say it's a power strip. And when they come with something extra like a USB, because that's the best deal that you can get on, that's an additional benefit to those people. And that's just, minor warning. He said that overall this was acceptable. He said the shipping was average. So I'm just going off a list of things that he went through on here. Now, he's keeping the desk. He loves the desk, by the way. I will say that. I will go over that at the end. one other thing is the instructions, and we're going to get here into the instructions. And I think that this, even for me, was a very poor rating. Now, I watched the videos on how to put it together. I tried to do a video that I cut out halfway through. I didn't have the equipment I have today, so if I were to get another one, I would be recording it on the equipment I have today. That should be much, much better. But he said not everything was clear instructions, and I agree. It was, it needs a lot of help. Back when I built it 18 months ago, and I didn't even get a look at his instructions. This is kind of what he told me. We've been talking about this for he's had it now for close to a month, I think. So we've been talking about it back and forth for this month, and these are notes that I've accumulated and that he sent me. So not everything was clear. He said he'd like to know better, like some idea where the wire management compartment should go, power supply or power strips for the Vertdesk, and also the power supply for the Vertdesk motor, all those things. So if there was more clear of where it should go, that would be a huge benefit, I think, for those people that are just unsure where to put it. I don't like the pre-drilled holes for, the wire management, right? I put a lot of stuff behind my desk or on my desk to be mounted to it, so I need to have that ability to play around with it to make sure that everything can still be mounted, as well as then have that wire management and power strips and everything mounted kind of right in line. So I have wire management. So here's the edge of the desk. Let's say I flip the desk up, and here's the edge of the desk. Then I have my wire management, so everything can be mounted, and then so wire management there. Then I have the power strips hidden behind the wire management, and then there's that channel at this point. So then this would be the middle of the desk, and then down here's the front. Just think I just tipped up my desk. I should have drew that out, but hopefully you get the picture. So he also said the desk needs to be flipped, and maybe that's one thing you can put on there. He goes, it's just a pain to do, or it's, that's one thing that he wanted to make sure of. I think he tried to put it up with the legs first. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what I got from talking to him. And while that may work at some point, yes, you do have to have the desk down on the ground and then flip it up. And if you're by yourself with a 72-inch desk by 30 and it's butcher block, that can be a little bit of an issue. However, he was able to get it done, so it's not too bad. And then, let's see here. He goes, let's say you don't put all the pre-drilled holes, like for the wire management or for the power supplies. List them out, and then what a lot of other companies do that I've dealt with before, say, measure off like 3/4 of an inch on your drill bit that you need a, let's say an 1/8 of an inch drill bit, and then you put a piece of tape on there and you just drill to that depth in those holes that you need. You put the screws in, and then you're off to the races. That's one really great way to improve it on the instruction set side. So that's one thing I would recommend for Beyond the Office Door as well for the Vertdesk. And then he said making sure hardware is tight is important, and I do agree. Hardware should be tight. And I don't know if he skipped over this, but I didn't look at my instructions either. But I use an electronic drill. I just assumed I have, a power drill. I'm going to use it. And he didn't have one. He now has one of my old ones that I don't need anymore. Or it was one of my first drills that I had before, I got a new one. So he gets it. And now he has it, so he was able to make that hardware tight. But the hardware does need to be tight. It's not something that you can just, hand tighten. I think that over time, if you hand tighten it, it's a good starting point. But you do want to make sure, and you don't want to over tighten it, but you do want to make sure that you go down and use a drill for it. And I think this is particularly important on the butcher block. Maybe not so much with the MDF and stuff that, with that, with the laminate, because that's not a solid wood product. So you can you get a little bit more leeway there and less resistance than you do with real wood. But that's one thing that you probably want to add to the instruction set as well. And his thing was he assumed that all holes were pre-drilled. So this comes back to kind of, the drilling side of things. And that was his understanding. So kind of make it more clear, maybe even put it in bold print. You can't do flashy lights, but that's another one that you could do. Is just make sure that it's up there in like a bold print or in big lettering saying everything to get the desk up and going up and down is there. Wire management and power strips, anything additional, are required you to pre-drill the holes and to decide where you want them. And I think that would be just one additional point that would make things go along a little bit easier for people that are questioning where a product should go. So even if you have on the back, I don't know how much a template is to kind of measure off of a corner or where, but I know I just installed a doorknob today, and it had it had extra paper in there with templates of where you might be able to put something, and then the drill out hole for the door and everything else. So there's options out there that you could do thinking about it, that we'll go through. I'd be more than willing to sit down with somebody and just talk through things as they go through it. Here I'm just trying to put a video together of what's out there, what you may run into, some feedback for Beyond the Office Door to help improve things, to make it easier for that next person that goes through, buys this desk, and they have that much more enjoyment out of it. Because, yeah, you're going to be working at it, but overall, being able to work at this desk is way better than sitting down all day. I just like to stand a lot better, but being able to have that adjustment is a huge benefit as well. Yeah, so that was kind of just basically everything that went through that he kind of had problems with. One last thing that he had was, and this is a really great thing that Beyond the Office Door did, was they corrected the issue that he had with, there was some damage. So on his base, so the legs, there was some marring, and he was able to send them pictures of that. And the butcher block table itself had a little bit of a, I can't remember exactly. I saw a picture of it. I was like, ooh, yeah, just tell them about it and see what they say. It was like a dent or something in the top of it. Now, they did the right thing, and they corrected that the best they could. They gave him a couple options, and I think that's the best thing that they could do. Take a little deduction off or replace it. Now, for him, he wanted to keep the desk. He didn't want to have to deal with shipping it back, walking it out, all that other stuff. So for him, it was just better to keep it. And overall, I think if he's going to revarnish it at one point, which he might put a sealer on it. If you're going to do something like that, a little bit of dent or whatever else, you can mask that with with putting that on, that varnish. Or even if you have like a mouse pad or something, or keyboard pad, that might be able to help hide some of that damage. So that was a good option for him. Now, overall, he said that this was a great desk. He really likes it. He likes standing, be able to stand. He has a 72-inch desk, and he doesn't have as much stuff as I have on my desk. But what he does have is that he really likes this option to be able to work and to be able to work efficiently. And that's a great thing that Vertdesk has in a product that is very price reasonable. If you're looking at a product that's going to be, especially with the butcher block, and be very stable, be able to operate quite well. I move this thing up. Since I've been working from home, it goes up, or it goes down in the morning so I can sit, and then it goes back up every single day that I'm working. So Monday through Friday, basically, it goes up and down. And I've had this thing for 18 months, and when I work from home, or if I done anything, I record at it, right? So there's that as well, and this is quite reliable overall. I've been really impressed. The only thing I've ever had was the power went out once, and that was because, and then I had to reset the desk and put it all the way down to reset it up, everything where I had it, and that was because the power went out here for like 3 or 4 hours. Okay, yeah, I expect something like that. But just so you know, if the power goes out for that long, you'll have to reset it unless it's on a battery backup. No big deal, right? And that's the great thing about this product. Now, getting to that point where you're at the desk and standing and enjoying it is the parts leading up to it that need to be kind of ironed out. And if Beyond the Office Door irons these out, they're going to be even at a better level here going forward. And I hope that this gets to somebody there, and I hope that they can help improve it. And I'm more than willing to look it over. Even I'm sure that I can send it to some other people and see what they say about it as well, the instructions, to see if they think it's good and where they might want a little bit more improvements, because everyone's different, right? Sometimes I'll make assumptions and jump through instructions a little bit faster than most people, but that's my nature. I've never been great at reading through directions. That's me. Give me a video, let me watch it, and go from there. Maybe that's one thing they can do too, is a QR code. So put a little QR code on either on the package or even in the instructions, scan it, take it to the video, and just make it the whole first page. Set up instructions to go through. There's this other service that I've dealt with before. What was it? trying to remember what I did, and their instructions were online only, and you scan it with a cell phone, and it's in this app. The thing goes through and walks you through every single step, and you basically click next and verify every step through it. That's an option too. I didn't use it today because the doorknob had pretty good instructions, but they had it on that box. I'll have to go look at that. The box is at work though, so I installed the lock at works. So I don't know. I'll have to look this up because that's another option for them. So there's a lot of things that they could go through and do. Think about it and iterate over it, right? The shipping stuff, it'll get ironed out over time. Shipping always does. Instructions I feel like are a little bit harder to do because a lot of people, and in documentation too, once it's done, it's done. I don't have to touch it anymore. But that's not really the case. You have to go through. Overall, though, the desk, the motor, everything, like for me, the desk is very reliable. The motor is. Now, one thing my brother did say is if you do get a standing desk, and I agree, I have a mat here and a mat at home, or a mat here and a mat at work. I'm at home. But I have a standing mat right now. This one that my brother actually suggested to me is a really, really good mat. I really like it. I'll be doing a review of this soon. I've been standing on it for a month and a half or so, 2 months. And these are just really, really nice. It doesn't fatigue your legs at all. You feel kind of rejuvenated at the end of the day. It's kind of cool. But he said, make sure you get one. You'll want one. And it just improves the whole standing desk experience as well. So let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions about them, put them in the comments below. I will definitely go through and answer them. And if you're having problems or questions about putting the desk together or where they think can improve on, put it in the comments below as well. I love to get more feedback back to them. I have talked to the president there as well. Really cool guy. He's open to listening, and all their support staff that I've dealt with, I've asked questions about. They've done a really great job. I mean, I have a little bit of play in my one leg there, and I was just asking, is this normal, or is this something that you would qualify underneath warranty? They said they talked to the everybody that needed to be talked to about the leg in question. They said that it was all good. So they get back to you quite quickly, and I'm impressed by that because that's the biggest thing about customer servicing. Well, my bad. Whoa. But customer servicing is that communication and being able to communicate with your customers that they can get the best experience possible. And if you can do that, everything else will fall into place, and you'll get those little things like instructions worked out until they are easy to put together and everyone can follow them. So with that, put your comments below. I do appreciate what Vertdesk has done and with their questions that I've asked them to get back with what they've done. And I thank my brother for this as well. He put this, gave me a lot of feedback on this, and I thought it was a good idea to get a video out there because I'm sure other people and other desks also have problems, maybe not the same ones, but if we're not going to put it out there, we aren't going to know where they can improve. So make sure that next person that buys one of these desks, or me buying another desk, how they can improve and make it for a better experience for us. So with that, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for helping support a Gray Overload and just getting this channel to grow. I'm really appreciative of it. Until next time, God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.